learning about data types in Tableau Desktop.
What is a data type in Tableau Desktop?
All fields in a table have a data type. Whenever you connect a data source to Tableau Desktop, you are then generating automatically new data types per field or per column. Each column has its own essential information. For example, a column with numbers may be your integer data type. So think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 210. Another data type would be a date or a date time. Think of 7/3/1986 as an example of a birthday that is a date.
What data types are in Tableau Desktop?
In Tableau Desktop, you can expect to see many data types, such as decimals, whole numbers, date, date time, string, and also Boolean. There's also a subclass for geographic roles, which we can get into in the future.
Can I change my data types before Tableau or inside of Tableau?
It's important to understand that you can work on your data types prior to going into Tableau. However, inside of Tableau, you have the ability to do it as well.
Where can I easily change data types in Tableau Desktop?
While working in Tableau Desktop, you have several different locations where you'll see symbols which represent data types. If you're coming from writing SQL or working in an actual database, then you're probably familiar with a lot more data types, and you're probably wondering, where are all my data types? No worries. Tableau is going to be managing a lot of them and somewhat aggregating each of them into what I would say is a little bit less to keep up with and a little less to manage. So your big ints and small ints, those are all going to roll up into integer. So let's look a little bit at what that would look like. Here's your number with your decimal. Anything that would be a decimal or anything related to decimals is going to roll up into what this is here. And number whole would be your integer. Date time would include a time. Date, no time included. String, this can be your varchars, your characters, your primary keys, anything that is not relevant to fit in your better or more optimized columns, which would be your ints or your booleans. Then think about sticking those into your string. And last but not least, Boolean, which would be your true false. You've got geographic roles, and we'll just look through a few of them. Airport, country, city, zip. As long as your column headers are named correctly, then you should have no issues with Tableau automatically by default picking up what it should be. However, if it's wrong, you can make a selection here in this screen. We can jump into the sheet. There is another direction you could go if you're working on data types. And again, you can see the data type symbol here in Tableau Desktop. I click on it and I can already see that I can change things. So number decimal, number whole, date and time, date, string, Boolean, set to default, and then geographic role.
What's the difference between right-clicking a pill and left-clicking the caret to change the data type?
In Tableau Desktop, they have many options for changing your data types. One that most people will rely on inside of their workbook is right-clicking or left-clicking. And these right clicks and left clicks are happening on the pill. I'll show you what that looks like next. Another really awesome place to be able to edit things like data types is within a right click. I'm a big fan of right clicking in Tableau, so let's see what that looks like. Now you can right click here by right clicking on the blue pill or the dimension customer name, and I can generate a lot of information very quickly. One of those is change data type. So as I hover over it, you can see a lot of the same characteristics as what we saw before. Now let's look at one more thing. This button here, as you can see, I clicked, it waited, and I clicked again. It's tried to rename it. I don't want to graze over that. It's an awesome part of the product. So this button here, it's called a caret, similar to the caret up here, and it does a thing. There's a caret here, and that is doing what we had initially completed with the right click. Now, the reason I don't like to show the caret is because of it's a little harder to click on and I enjoy the right click. And also, the caret would require you to see it, know about it. Right clicking, so much easier. So if I were to suggest what to do in this part of the product from a pro perspective, it's definitely going to be right clicking, just to save yourself some time. And as you can see, it was easy to make the mistake of renaming something, and maybe that's not something that you're looking to do. So let's go back to that. Right click, change data type. And what we can see in our change data type is what we saw similar to the previous two screens. Tableau's cool. It's trying to give you different user experiences so that you can find the right one that works for you when it comes to changing your data types inside of Tableau Desktop.